Velkommen til Bøje Larsens blog.
This video is about the Indian-American professor SARASVAThy. She is now working and teaching at the Darden School at the University of Virginia in the USA. The second letter in her last name, SARASVAThy, the A, seems in her case to have to be pronounced more like an E. SARASVAThy was born in 1959 in Bombay, India. India is a country in the world with the most SARASVAThys, but the name is not as common as Jones is in the USA. SARASVAThy is one of the most respected professors of management and innovation in the USA. Her most known and award-winning article has the title Causation and Effectuation, and I'll describe this article and its arguments in this video. You can find and download her article from the internet. It's free. She also has her own company where she teaches companies about her ideas. One could say that she is an entrepreneur, innovator herself. I came to know SARASVAThy's name when, some years ago, before 1990, I made a detailed study of the quotations of an article written in 1971 by an even bigger star at the US academic firmament than SARASVAThy's name is, namely James March. The title of James March's article was The Technology of Foolishness, for short often called TOF. I've made a video here on the channel on March's article TOF, where you can view and understand TOF. My article about TOF was presented at Stanford University and printed in a Scandinavian journal. James March argues in his tough article that sometimes goals and plans are better seen as possibilities, as hypotheses. In order to innovate in private or in a company, one should be a little crazy, play as children do, and see what happens, even if it falls outside the goals that one has fixed. In the research presented in the article I mentioned, I traced who had quoted and used the TOF concept and for what purposes. From around 1985 forward, one name stood out as a heavy user. That was SARASVAThy's name. She took over March's TOF argument and developed it, among other places in her mentioned article, Effectuation. Some years after the publication of March's article, around 1970, other researchers were quoting SARASVAThy's Effectuation article without referring to March's tough article, or perhaps even without knowing that SARASVAThy was building on March. So you could say that SARASVAThy kept the James March alive even after he died in 2018. Summary of SARASVAThy's arguments about innovation. You can search and find several summarizations of SARASVAThy's article on Google, because her article is used in teaching at many universities, so teachers are putting short versions of it on the net to let the students read it. Here's a short version of SARASVAThy's argumentation. Guess you can see the connection to James March's tough argument. What SARASVAThy calls the aircraft message is a basic idea of effectuation. You can and you should run and direct the innovation process. Do not follow any predefined ideas from history or experts. Do it your way in order to suit your possibilities. The bird-in-hand message, as SARASVAThy talks about, wants to say that you have to work with the resources you have in your hand here now. You might need, or people will tell you that you need more or other resources. Don't listen to that when it's impossible. Do what you can do with your present resources. The lemonade principle means that you have to know the mistakes and surprises are normal. There are spillings all over. The normal reaction to mistakes is that you try to hide them from yourself and others. For instance, your partners in an innovative project. You try to show a facade of do not do that. Be open about your mistakes. They are valuable assets. Use them. The crazy quilt picture means that you should make a patchwork of what comes up in the innovation. New people, new opportunities, lost opportunities for that matter, new ideas, and weave them all together in your project and your way of doing things. This is a central technology of foolishness idea. See your developing company as a travel of discovery, not a travel in well-known terrain. The last SARASVATHY principle, affordable loss, is here illustrated with a weight. You should only invest as much as you are willing to lose, not what people say you should invest. You have to find ways with your present resources. And when one is forced to do with what one has, for instance, a limited amount of money, one can often find a way. I hope you have learned from SARASVATHY's ideas if you want to become a serious innovator in the real world of limited resources. Thank you for watching my story about a remarkable and highly intelligent scientist in the USA.